some basic rules. I've written the rules here. What we're going to do, we're going to build an assignment that has 8 triangular shapes all in one composition that will involve 4 or 5 letters. Okay? And those 4 or 5 letters will be a proper noun. That can be a name of a friend, it could be your name, your parents' name, it could be the name of a car company or a model of a car or an athletic store or product or team. It doesn't matter as long as it's 4 or 5 letters. So let's pick one name to do. So somebody give me a name that we want to work on.
Nike.
Nike? Okay, pretty obvious
Great
name. So Nike's our name. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is make sure that it's visually interesting. And the correct term that we're looking for is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It's fun to look at. It makes you want to look at it. Is this fun to look at? No, it's pretty boring. So we're going to rewrite that in a more interesting way. And what I'll tell you is I want the letters to have interior space. So let's start by making one that looks like this. Okay, is that better?
It's better.
It's definitely better. Okay, is it visually interesting, or have I got pretty much basic block letters on here? Pretty much basic block letters. So I'm going to erase that and try and come up with one that's a little more stylized. Okay, how's that? Is that better?
That's better.
Is it still block letters?
Yes.
It is. It's kind of basic text. I kind of stretched it a little bit here and there. Added a lowercase I and an E, which isn't against the rules. I guess what we probably need to consider is adding serifs. Okay, so you guys know the basic Microsoft Word fonts. I think it's Times New Roman and Arial, right? When you default text. So if I can do this the best I can here. Which one of these is Arial?
The one
Second right.
This one? Or this one?
Right.
We have Arial and Times New Roman.
Times New Roman's on the right, so.
Times New Roman is over here and Arial is over here. What's the difference between those two letters?
The little right.
One's more visually interesting.
Somebody said the little, these little guys here?
Yeah.
Okay, those are called serifs. Okay? Serifs are little feet. Okay? They're little additions that hang off the letters. Well, I'm doing this on video. Ornamental pieces to the letter. Okay? They're unnecessary other than they define it as a specific font style. Notice that the Arial doesn't have any. Okay? It's just a plain letter. That would be sans serif. Okay? Sans meaning without. You will be tested on that, so you need to know that. The easiest way to remember it is sans means without. When you have that, you can figure the rest of it out on your own pretty easily. Okay? So, we need to add a serif to this typeface. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start manipulating the font that I've created and add some serifs in. Do you? Excellent. That's starting to make it look a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Did that help? I didn't do it on the E. Do we want to do it on the E? I consider to be coming in the world of visually interesting. It's becoming aesthetically pleasing, okay? Certainly a lot better than where we started, which was here, right? Now, you can challenge yourself and go kind of over the top, and we can start making it a lot more...
Book club to the auxiliary desk.
a lot more taggish or gangsterish by starting to add in different elements. So all of a sudden we start getting those very unique stylized letters,
That's cool.
right? Just adding some arrowheads to the letters. That can be really interesting. However, we've got to maintain legibility. If you guys have ever seen train cars that had gangster text or they've been tagged, sometimes you can read what the gang name is, the graffiti, but sometimes you look at it, you're like, what's that say? At some point, it loses legibility, and we don't want to cross that point. So if you want to push it to the point where you can't read it, and then pull back a little on the creativity, allowing it to be read, that's a good place to be. Okay, so that's what we need to do in designing our text. The next thing would be, is we have to conform that into a triangle. So our basic shape that we're going to start with, like the paper that I handed out, is going to be 8 triangles on a square sheet of paper. So these triangles would be the shapes that your 4 or 5 letters have to fit into. So the trick now becomes, how do I put this into this? And even more so, there's some rules that apply to that. The first one is, it's got to go top to bottom. Well, this is more of a rectangular shape. This is a triangle. They don't match, so we've got to do some adjusting. It also has to stay visually balanced. So we want to make sure that we don't have a huge N and then 3 little IKE letters that don't really balance out. Okay, I'm going to do a little videoing again up here, so give me just a few seconds. Okay, to conform the Nike into the triangle, the first thing I'm going to do is divide it into 4 equal sections, allowing me to make sure that each letter gets its own shape. But I'm going to look at the Nike here, and I'm going to try and conform the basic shape of the letter, even though it's real small, into this triangle. Okay, and I'll do the same thing with my eye. Okay. On my E, since I'm going to go over this line a little bit, I'm going to erase that line. That'll give me a little more room to work this. Yeah. I'll let that go off the page. And that's okay as long as it's legible. You can still read it. So then I'm going to pull these out. I guess I need to leave that in, don't I? That's part of my K. So that's my letters. And then if I shade these in, I'll do this real quickly. What I'm doing is I'm verifying my positive and negative shape balance. My letters being the positive shape, and the area between them is the negative. Just my white balanced with my red. Do I create interesting negative space shapes with my design? Are they as visually interesting as the letters themselves? And that will all contribute to your balance of the image. Okay, we'll start with 18 by 24 paper. Come over here to the paper cutter. And we need to cut this 18 by 24 down to 18 by 18. So I'm going to come up here on the ruler. I'm going to find the 18. I'll line the paper up all the way down the cut line in the bed of the cutter. And not going past the guard over here. I'm going to hold the paper firm, pull down and in with the blade, and cut my 18 by 18. Okay, once I've done that, that is our final cut paper, so you'll need one of these. But we're going to cut a second one, an additional one, and the second one we're going to cut down to 9 by 9. So the same process would hold true. I'm going to come up here and find 9. I'm going to scoot the paper over, line it up with the line cut in the bed, hold the paper. I'm going to cut it this way. Now I have two 9 by 18s. I want to cut one of these in half. So I'll cut it at 9 again. And that will give me a 9 by 9 square. And then I'm going to cut that in half corner to corner. Just lining up the corners of the squares on the edge of the cutting blade. And that gives me this triangle. And this is my template for my final 18 by 18 piece. Okay, as I start to do this, I want to conform my end into this template. And it's going to change sizes. So I can make modifications as I go. Put my eye in there. Let that dot kind of go off the page. Okay. And my E. That gives me that image there. Now, once I've got that, I'm going to go over it with ink. And that will make it easy to see for a trace. Make sure that when I have the opportunities to, I touch the edges. All the edges are touched, top to bottom. When I flip it over, I can see through, and I'm going to trace over it on the back as well.
Courtney Bullis, Joel Dirksen, and Kristen Fitzwater come to the office.
And when I do that, that gives me a negative image to trace connecting shapes. So I have that. I'll bring in my big piece here, making sure my end in the middle, I will slide it in here like this. And I will begin my tracing. sides match up is as you repeat this, you will want them to match up consecutive sides. Pull this out, flip it over, slide it back in, and it should match up.